Okay, there we go. So this is just like this is a API reference from Rent Manager that lets you kind of play around with different requests and pull data from Rent Manager. And so if this was ever going to be helpful for you, we can give you access to this as well. But basically, this is like playing around with their API. So this is the endpoint right here that we're looking for.
So this would be like rent manager dot get and then
And
insert
then
this.
this thing right here, exactly. And so I have to construct it because this needs to include all of the parameters to the report that I'm wanting to run. So I chose age receivables with notes, but then I need to give it parameters. And so the parameters are right here. I've got as of date. Is this drop down showing up?
No.
Shoot. Okay. That's because
Okay.
I'm sharing my window. So let me just switch this real quick. Your screen. Okay, is that pop-up showing up now?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So these are all of the parameters that you can put in when you run an AR report with notes.
Oh man.
We definitely want an as of date. We want it to be as of right now. So we'll put 7/2/2026, save, and then let's see if there's anything else here. We want method should default to the correct method. Charges. I think the rest of this looks good. We can also kind of check it in Rent Manager itself, which I actually have open right here already, just to kind of see this is what we're more familiar with, what we're used to looking at. So we've got properties over here. We've got the as of date. We'll just do all charges, current tenants. We don't need this. We don't need that. We don't need that unless you want to include prospects.
No, just current tenants. Basically, current tenants every month on the 2nd, and for specific buildings.
Okay.
Those are the 3 parameters. Keep explaining and keep talking. I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay. No problem. So. Yeah. Okay. So these are the parameters that we're going to want. This all looks good. So if we go back to here, the only other one we might want to select is number of notes, and we'll pass in 3 for now. So I'll do 3 and then save, and it should default to that, but we'll just pass it in anyways. It doesn't hurt anything. And then the last thing that we'll want to do, let's see here. We're going to want to select only certain properties based on which manager is looking at this. And so we'll add that logic into the code. We'll have Gemini do that. But we do want to just add in the parameter for the properties to include. And as a default, we'll just do 1, 2, 3. And then that way Gemini will know how to specify certain properties. Okay, so then okay, this looks good. So this is the endpoint that we need. So I'm going to copy this, go back into our function here and paste it in right there. And then actually, we really just need this in our Gemini prompt. It's going to replace all of this code here. So we just need this in our Gemini prompt.
Okay, I gotcha.
Here. So that's the function to get the information. I'm going to add a quick clarification on this right now for Gemini. I'm going to say the list of property IDs depends on the user that is viewing the web app. There are 2 users and they are managers, building managers. And each building manager has access to a specific set of buildings with certain IDs. What I want you to do is have a section in the code, like a variable where I can input the emails for those managers and then the buildings that they have access to, so that when they log in and view this web app, they only see those buildings. The other thing I want is the as of date should always be as of today. whatever date the user is loading the web app. Let's see here. Here's what the data looks like when it comes back from that request as JSON data. So JSON is a type of, it's like the way the data can be structured, and
Yep.
it's the universal format for just like the coding world, I guess you could say. And so we just want it to, in fact, we don't even have to choose this return JSON stream. It will default to that because that's the universal thing. The other options in here make sense because of maybe specific scenarios. So if you want CSV, it'll give you that. If you want Excel, you could get that. If you want HTML, which is what you see when you run it in here in Rent Manager, you can get that. You could get a PDF, you could get just text, and then you could get XLS. So all of those are other things that wouldn't make sense in the coding world. When in coding world, you want the raw data. You don't want it to look like a beautiful HTML page. You don't need it in Excel because we're not going to put it in Excel. So we just want JSON. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click send with
JSON stream.
report.
Is that the
And
one?
this is, yes, JSON stream. And I didn't even have to click on it. It defaults to it. And you can see that here in request headers. It says content type application JSON. So it defaulted to that. And then what's important is this response right here. This is the JSON data that we need. So I'm just going to copy this data and paste it in so Gemini knows what it returns. So I'm just going to paste this in. And then if we take a look at it ourselves, we can see that grid 1 is, let's see. Why are there multiple? So this is one record, Lillian Klein, has a bunch of other information about them. And then for some reason, there's another grid here. I'm not sure.
Maybe do we want maybe these are the notes. I don't know. It looks like these are maintenance requests, possibly. It's under labor maintenance charge.
Yeah, this one starts with accounts name, and then this one starts with is prospect and then accounts name. Does this one have? I'm not sure what the difference is between these. If I run this in here with the same parameters, 3 notes as of today, let's see what it looks like. So there's Lillian and then Klein. And then there's a lot of records in here.
Maybe we want to do just aged receivables, not with notes.
Well, you said you wanted the notes, right? Or do you not?
I mean, the notes are useful when we so what we would normally do is go into Rent Manager and just print the age receivables with notes, and then on there, oftentimes there'll be notes specifically related to the aged receivables, like spoke with tenant or email was sent or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But if we're just trying to do I don't know, like the way that Rent Manager lists notes is a little bit complex because it like creates a new line for every so that it fits in the field.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe just age receivables.
Okay. Let's try that. That means we delete this number of notes parameter. Everything else should be, well, it looks like it didn't like this one either. So let me try adding that back. So the properties, we'll do 1, 2, 3. And it didn't like the as of date either. Let me add that back. 7/2/26. Okay, so it's got both of those in there. Let's try running that. Interesting. We still get 2 grids.
Is this for the same person?
Hmm.
This is me, Lee, and then
Yeah, it is.
Lee and Klein, right? So this is two different people. So these are people that have outstanding balances.
Yeah, this is really strange. I mean, the grid one, this is like when you see 2 tables on a report, those are basically 2 grids, but they look like duplicates. Let's try doing age receivables directly so we can match it up. The PDF. Hey, there's way more results here.
Hmm.
Oh, it's because I ran it for only those 3 properties.
Right.
So let me grab this link, or this endpoint, we should call it, and I'm going to replace that in here. So where did I put it? Here it is. This is our new endpoint since we're doing the new report. So basically, the only thing that changes is this 164. That means age receivables with notes. And now it's going to be 78 is age receivables without notes. And now let's run it without this property IDs parameter. So it does it for all properties. And then we can see what that looks like. Okay, that looks a lot better. We still have this second table with 4 of them. Me, he, Ashley Griffin, Lillian, who was already there, Devin Lautner. This is weird. There's only 4 here. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that second grid might just be a weird rent manager error. Like it's not even supposed to be there because yeah, no, there's no second table here. I mean, unless it's supposed to be this charge summary, rent charge 321. Oops. 321, 1284. Okay, it looks like that's the summary table, and for some reason they're putting account names in there, which is it's probably just a rent manager error. So basically what we'll do is we'll copy this result. I'll go back into Gemini, and all of this we can take out because that's from the old report. Take that out and then paste in this data. And then what I'll tell it is you can ignore grid 2. We only need grid 1, which has each tenant and their age receivables data. So grid 1 is this right here. It has each tenant, and for each tenant, we can see their name, we could see the unit, we could see the charge, and then we want their phone number, because you mentioned it'd be nice to have their phone number for quick access. It looks like that's not included in here, but that's okay. We could end up pulling it to the side. On the first draft, we'll just link it to Rent Manager so they can easily go into Rent Manager and add notes. So what we need is their account ID in order to link it to Rent Manager. So if I go into Rent Manager and I click on this tenant, Klein Gregory,
Yeah.
you'll see in the URL here, it says tenants and then a slash and then this number and then details. This number is their ID. So for Gregory Klein, if I go in here and we look at him right here, customers. Oh, wait, no, that's. Which one is it? Here we go. Accounts account ID is 4. And that lets us we could create this link right here so that it takes the manager right to that tenant's profile. So that's what we'll tell Gemini. On the dashboard, there should be a button for each tenant that says open in RMX, and the link follows this format and uses the account ID field to get the number. And then this should be accounts account ID. That's what it was labeled in the results here. So, and then we'll give it the link. Oops, that's not the link. It's right here. Copy that. And then we actually don't need the from report equals true. We'll get rid of that. Okay. And then each tenant should show how delinquent they are in each date bucket, 0 to 30, 30 to 60, etc. And then there should also be filters to look at just one property at a time, and then maybe a chart that shows the total delinquency by property, etc. Just make it a good professional dashboard. Okay, I think that should do it. Let's see if there's anything I'm missing. And we can always make edits. So let's go ahead and, yeah, let's go ahead and run it with that.
Oh boy. All right.
Okay. Yeah, I think we got it all. And one thing I did is I selected this canvas, which is under the tools. And what Canvas does is it ends up creating like a place that it can continue to modify the code. So instead of just giving you a new response every time, you have to copy everything and paste it in. It just kind of makes edits to its own code. And so right now it doesn't look like anything different, but in a second it should look a little different. Yeah. So it starts to create like this page here where you can see the code.
Is it? I was kind of wondered that for Gemini specifically. Does the canvas, is this like if you're having a long conversation or something with it, trying to do some research or something, like does it also work, or is it just for code basically, like so that it doesn't have to rewrite the code every time?
I think it's best for code. I think that's what it was designed for.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I'm not sure about the researching part.
That's
I would
cool.
be surprised if they have tools for researching specifically.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to know though, because if it's, I don't know, uses a lot if you have to rewrite the code every time as opposed to just fix. Like
right.
If something's pushing an error or something.
Exactly. Okay, let's see. I think, did it do it? Okay. I think it finished. So this is the back end. I'll copy this. Oof. Okay. It is being a little bit weird, and it's thinking I want to use the Rent Manager API. And so I'll go ahead and prompt it. What's going on here? Why is there no? Oh. I'm not using the Rent Manager API. I'm using Visata's Google App Script library. So there's no base URL or API token needed. only this line at the beginning of all of the code, backend code. Okay, so then I'll just go ahead and provide it this line right here. And backend code, what that means, that's like the actual logic code going on that pulls the data from Rep Manager. The front end code is just the design of the dashboard. And so that's kind of what it means when it creates the front end dashboard and then the back end logic.
Okay.
And the back end logic is where we need that configuration to connect to Rep Manager.
Right.
So let's make sure it should take out those right here. Yep. Okay. Cool. Okay, that looks good. So I'll take this, paste it into here. And interesting.
That is intense and intimidating.
Yeah, no, we don't have to understand what's going on here, which
Yeah.
is nice. We'll just try it, and if it works, great. And if it doesn't, we'll tell Gemini it should fix it.
Yeah.
Then the only other thing, so this is code.js, and you'll see that it tells us what it told us earlier. We also need index.html. So let me open that one. And we just want the code. Copy this. There really should be like a...
So would front end be like if it was connected to a Google Sheets or a Google Docs thing? Would that be back end?
No, that would still be back end. The Google Docs itself, you could think of as a front end. But
Oh, okay, I see. And so this is like basically the website
yes,
visual.
exactly. And then we'll call this whitetail AR dashboard manager facing. And then all I have to do, it outlines this also in the Gemini response, but I just go to new deployment, choose this. I choose web app. Web app is what allows us to have like something we can access on the web as a website. And then this, I always want to leave as execute as me. And then who has access? This would be anyone within Whitetail once we copy it to your account. Since it's just me right now, we'll just leave it as myself. Although if we want to test it with your account, then that might be helpful. So I'll do anyone with Google account. I'll click deploy, and then I have to authorize it. So this is just, it wants to be able to connect to an external service. That's fine.
Yep.
Continue. And we have a link. It would be kind of crazy if it just worked first try, but let's see.
It'd be kind of crazy.
Okay, that would have been very helpful. Okay, so let me grab this, copy that error, and put it into here. Error. Let's see what it figures out.
Is there any particular reason that you use Gemini over, say, Claude or whatever?
Yeah, the only reason is I've tried Claude and ChatGPT, and ChatGPT has a Canvas feature as well, but it's a little bit more buggy. And so that was the issue with ChatGPT. And then Claude doesn't, if I remember correctly, when I tried it, it doesn't let you have multiple files. And they call them artifacts, if I remember correctly, but it doesn't let you have multiple files and just edit the files in place. There was something missing there where they don't have like the equivalent of this Canvas feature, which is really helpful when you have like 2 pages that you're editing. That's the only reason. Claude is really good at like generating a beautiful looking dashboard, but it's not actually good for Google Apps Script. It's kind of just pulling like dummy data. That
So,
was
so,
yeah.
so we need to layer AI on top of AI, is what you're saying.
Uh, wait. Say that again.
We need to layer AI on top of AI
Yes.
on top of
Yeah.
AI. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm not sure if it changed both. I think it only changed this one right here. So let's go ahead and just fix this. See if that works. And then instead of doing a whole new deployment every single time, I can just use this test deployments and then click this link and it has any updated changes that I make. So this is easier for quick testing. Okay, so that makes sense. I'm not authorized, and that's because if I go into here and I go into the code, these are the managers
Yeah.
and their access. So what I want to do
And
is
give yourself access.
yeah, so I need to just see what these properties are. I need to get at least one of the property IDs. So we're looking for, it's usually called entity ID. For whatever reason, that's what Rent Manager calls it. There's the entity short name.
There's charges. Entity.
Huh.
Charges entity ID.
I think it might be that. I don't know why it says charges before it, but it is entity ID. So yeah, I think that's it. So we've got 2 is a valid option. Let's see, this one is 1. This one is 13. So let's do 1, 2, and 13. So we at least get 3 properties. So I'll just do right here 13, and then this should say Sam at Visata.app. And now if I reload, hopefully,
Huh.
okay,
Well,
interesting.
there's no data.
So yeah, that means I wonder if it's because it's trying to use
Is it pulling from the wrong charge ID?
I saw in the code here that there's this get mock data function,
Hmm.
and I'm worried that it might just be doing this. And uh and in fact, I don't see entity ID in here. That's not good. So yeah, I mean, this is interesting because I see. So the property IDs. Interesting. So one thing I also realized is we actually don't need the as of date. If we don't include it, it'll just default to today. And so I'm just going to take it out because it's simpler. And honestly, I shouldn't be doing that in here. I should be having Gemini do it. You can actually take out the as of date. If I don't include that parameter in the request, it'll default to right now. Okay, so my guess is if I grab this, well, we could also look at the logs, the execution log here, and see, okay, it did do it. Oh, okay. That's the issue. I'm trying to connect to Whitetails
Yeah, and you're not
data,
in
but
Whitetail.
these property IDs are not going to work there. So
Okay. Oh,
let me switch this back to Visata for now and then run it. Oops, I don't mean, yeah, running it there doesn't do anything. Let's reload this. Still not getting anything. Maybe we can log out the response. Hmm. Oh, okay. I think I know what's missing. I'm gonna tell Gemini also the response that comes back from the rent manager .get function is a app script response object. So you need to use get content text and then parse that into JSON. And Gemini would have been able to figure that out if I kept, debugging with it. So yeah, this is getting more complex than I wanted it to, but
So what what prompt would you use to like have it auto debug itself?
basically I would just go back and say, hey, there's no data showing, and then it would put in some code
Oh,
that
okay.
logs out the response, and then it would discover that it was handling the response wrong.
I gotcha.
Let's see if that works. Yeah, so now it's using this get content text and parsing it. So I think that is going to fix it for us. Ah, shoot. It undid the change I made here. Okay. Okay, so now we're getting data,
Hey, look at that.
and we've got our property drop down, delinquent tenants, total outstanding, 0 to 30, 30, 60, etc. And this is looking like dummy data. I don't remember seeing a Maximilian. uh, is this in here? Oops. Hmm. It went back to whitetail. That's why. Um, okay, so if I reload that one more time, it should actually be the data we saw when we ran that AR report. There we go. Okay, and that's for only those 4 properties. That's why we're not seeing the full list.
Okay.
And then we've got the 3 properties here. So we could make tweaks to this. Let's see if this link works as well. So if I click open in RMX, it should be Marcia Clark, and it is. If I go to Gregory's, it's ID 4, and it takes me right to Gregory. So
Okay.
that part's working, and that's what the managers would use to get their phone number and add notes.
Right.
So I think what I would say at this point is, first of all, we're not getting a chart here, so we'll ask Gemini to fix that. Is there anything that's standing out that you're like, okay, if this is what's getting sent to your managers, what's missing here?
So if this is what's getting sent to my managers, and this would be sent to my managers, it's be getting sent on the 2nd. I guess if it's live data that it's showing, then it could also send the exact same thing on the 3rd and show different amounts, right?
Correct.
Okay, so the dashboard is basically a live dashboard. And then to access each tenant. So okay, so Klein owes $450. It's past older than 90 days, but we're gonna call him. So you go open an RMX, and then there tenant info should be there.
Hmm.
Was there,
Interesting.
was there a second ago?
Lillian Klein. Uh, yeah, I'm wondering if interesting. Oh, it's an owner.
Oh,
Wow,
okay.
that's weird.
Um, well, let's pick a different. We don't. I don't think there are any owners set up
Okay.
in rent managers. So let's just pick a different example. Let's try Marcia.
Okay.
All right. So these are the contacts. So then they would call this number right here
Right.
and say, "Hey, what's going on?" And then they would add a note, right?
Yep. I just add a note here. Choose delinquency notes or whatever category you guys have. And then I could put that note in, upload something, could put a follow-up date, etc., and then save.
Okay. That that looks like it would work. And then for me, I would want to on basically on the third of the month, um, see all the work that was done on the second. Um, does that mean that I would have to go in and check the notes for each tenant so I'd get the same thing?
Well, so I'm envisioning that we would have a different page for you to
Okay.
view it. So this would be just what they see. And then you would have another page. We'd ask Gemini to build another page. And that page would give you um, each tenant, but then you could maybe click an expand button and it shows the notes. Um,
Okay. That would be for the purposes of um, arrears and rent collection. That would be very cool. That would be
okay.
ideal.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm wondering we could we could just build it into this since we would just have it set up so that your account can see all properties and the managers might find it useful to see their own notes that they put in.
Yeah.
So I wonder, so what we could do, the only thing that's tricky is we
Pulling
don't
the notes.
pull all notes for a tenant because there could be lots of stuff in there.
Yeah.
Do you know if you guys have a specific category that you use for these notes, or could it just be anything?
Specific category for the notes. Let me see. Hang on. I'll just run the report. Current include prospects. Sure. Um, um, oh wow. Yeah, I don't know if there's a lot of notes. The notes actually shows up as all of the notes. The like, I think it's showing as the history of the tenant history. Let me just double check this. Sawyer 201 receivables payable. Home tenants. Sawyer 201 history notes. HTML. It is showing. Yeah, it's showing the history / notes. So any email that was sent out, it's getting confusing now. So what would that look like on here? Note call. So if you, this is the test case, right? Category. I mean, it would be good if we had, I don't know if we have a category. How do I check to see if we have a categories that says delinquency notes?
If you go into, let's see, if you want, I'll stop presenting and then you share your screen for a second and we can look.
Sure.
Okay, and then if you go to, so Maximilian there has a bunch of notes. If you click on his name on the far left, and then it would be, yeah, go ahead and click the X on that thing or just, yeah, drag it away. Okay, it looks like a category is not being used for these notes, which that honestly makes sense because it looks like these are just emails.
Yeah, category. So counting. So we do have emails. So it looks like a category of notes needs to be created. So that way on the dashboard, it can just
Pull those.
hold.
I think that might be good because that way, when you look at it, you're only seeing the notes that were meant to be put in as like update notes. Like, hey, here's what's going on for this tenant on the delinquency front. Because I don't think you want to see every single email thread and they have a ticket now and all of that stuff, right? You just kind of want to see the note that the manager put in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then let's, yeah, go into history categories in the top right command launch.
History category, sorry.
Yeah, just the command launch in the very top right.
Yeah.
And then if you put in history categories, I think there's a module for that. That second one there. And then we can create a new one here.
Create a new one.
It's hidden. It's weird. It's at the bottom right corner.
Oh, add.
Yeah. And then this would be for tenants or tenant / prospect. Oh, yeah, the name. So the name, whatever you think makes the most sense. It could be delinquency or collections or anything like that.
I don't know if this is going to include prospects. So people that.
Well, it doesn't have to include prospects, but.
Put delinquencies then.
And I think it can always be changed later.
Did I spell that right? Delinquencies.
Let's see, I think so. Oh, and then before you click save, check the tenant box. part way down.
So the tenant's going to be able to see these?
No, that just means that this history category is available when you're adding a note for a tenant.
Oh, okay. Continue
Perfect.
to add. What is no? It's just the one.
That's just, yeah, you just click save.
Okay.
Perfect. Um,
History notes. Delinquencies, tenant prospects. Okay, so
Cool.
go back to that plan and go specify date 6. Okay, so then if on are you connected to yours or to ours on your
on the dashboard,
yeah, the one that we're making right now? I don't remember.
currently connected to mine, but we can start switching to yours so that we get more helpful results.
Okay.
And so in that case, we might want to add like a test note for one of the
Okay,
tenants, like
we
this
have
one.
hang on a second. Where is it? Where? Oh, it's right. Okay. Test units. All right. So add note.
Yes. Now, are we sure that this tenant is delinquent on?
Oh, no, they're not delinquent. Yep. I'm gonna add a test note to somebody that is delinquent.
Yeah, and we can remove it after.
Okay. 201 at Sawyer. Sawyer. Out. Tendencies. Uh, um, if we set a follow-up date, would that have any effect on the dashboard at all?
It wouldn't, but that can be useful for the manager if they want it to let them know, hey, you need a like on, if they set a follow up for the 7th, then it would kind of alert them inside of Rent Manager, maybe even send them an email like, hey, you had a follow up scheduled on this or something. So it might be useful for the managers, but it wouldn't do anything to the dashboard.
Okay. What is created by follow-up date?
Oh, created by would show once it's actually created. It's really confusing, the Rent Manager user interface sometimes, but that is just the follow up date.
Okay. So just save and close.
Yeah, and if you even just click save, then you'll see that the created by gets populated, or it doesn't. But if we closed it and then opened it again, it would. But anyway, yeah, so now we have a note in there, and oh, I guess it would be at the top. Okay, perfect. And it says delinquencies. So that's what we're looking for.
What is A? Okay.
A, I think, is attachment.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So next, what I'll do, if you stop sharing, I'll share my screen one more time.
Do we need any information out of here for if we're gonna switch it over to our system?
Potentially. So keep rent manager open. Sawyer rental apartments. That's the only thing there, but we can look at that. Okay. Let me share one more time. Entire screen. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to pull in the notes. And since we're not using age receivables with notes, we're just going to pull them in separately. And so the way that that looks is we'll go back into this kind of API test sandbox thing, and we want history notes. I gotta validate this. Okay, history notes. Did that work? Oops. History notes. And then we get to choose which fields that we want. And so we want the property. Yikes, this is a lot. Let's see. I think about the best way to do this. Just for a second, I'm actually going to jump into a spreadsheet here. And we're going to go into.
I mean, honestly, like if the spreadsheet is easier, like if you just use a spreadsheet, I don't know if it's easier or not, but that way it can just show like I don't know certain things, I guess, and then they can add their own columns after the fact for because I mean basically once it's well, no, never mind.
I think the only thing about a spreadsheet is that it isn't going to pull live from Rent Manager. It can only update up to hourly.
Well, the other thing is it's good when it's in the notes because if we have to like file an RTB dispute, if someone is like habitually late on their payments, then
mm,
sorry, one sec.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I mean I'm in a meeting. I need to call you back. All right. Okay.
But all I'm doing here is I'm just going to very quickly and easily analyze the data that we're trying to pull in. Well, wow. Okay. I will delete all of these later. So I'm just going to create a new query, and this will make it really easy for us to just see the data before we create the command or the endpoint in that other location. So for each note, we want to know the date. We want to know, I guess, the type. We want that history category and the ID. We want the note itself, the property. Well, the parent ID is the tenant ID. The property is important. Well, actually, I don't know if we need that. Oh, there's tenant here again. I'm just choosing a bunch of stuff here so we could see what's actually needed. We also may want the user to know who created the note. And we'll just grab their name. And then I don't think we'll need property actually. And I'm just going to filter the date to be greater than or equal to, let's do like a week ago. Done. Save that and run it. So what this is doing is this is our sidebar, our spreadsheet sidebar. Behind the scenes, it does the exact same thing that we were doing over here. It's just quicker and easier to analyze.
Mm.
And so if we look in here, we should see the one that you just made under the delinquencies category. So what I want to do now is I needed to find out what this ID was, which is the category ID. And I
Mm.
want to filter to only include where it's 15. I could have just filtered to where it equals delinquencies. The problem is you may end up renaming that later, which is totally fine. I want you to be able to rename it. And so we're going to filter on the ID because that never changes. So the
Okay.
ID needs to be equal to 15. Now, if I run this again, we're only going to get one result. There we go. And then we have the tenant ID 361. We have your username here. We have the date and we have the note. Those are the important things. So let's see here. Parent ID, tenant ID. This is redundant. We don't need both of these. So I'll just go ahead and take out parent ID, username. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to save this and run it one more time. And then I'm actually going to just cheat a little bit and jump into, whoops. Let's see, just 1 second. Okay. Let's see here. Ooh, computer's getting, it's freaking out a little bit. Bear with me here.
Sound good.
Wow, okay. Yeah, it's really bugging out. Just a sec. Okay, here we go. So, okay. Share my screen again. So here is the request that we'll need. It looks like this. So it's history notes, and then this is the information it grabs. This is the date of a week ago. So we can have it do that for us. So I'm going to say we also need to pull in the delinquency notes for each tenant. So what we'll do is make a separate request to grab all notes in the last week, and then use the tenant's ID field to match the notes to each tenant.
I mean,
Here's
you can do notes from, doesn't have to be for the last week. It could be like for the last month, basically.
Okay, last month.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause it may, uh, like, I don't know, it gets complicated, but like, uh, our payment thing takes about 5 days, 5 to 7 business days to actually pull from their account. So,
Okay.
in the middle of the month, we have to check for NSFs and stuff like that.
Okay. Perfect. Um, okay, I guess I didn't tell it to show that on the dashboard. So let me do that. And while I'm at it, maybe we can get this chart fixed. So I'll just copy the name of it and I'll say, yeah, let's show those notes in the front end dashboard. Maybe it just shows the number of notes in a column, and then you can click on it and it expands to show the notes or something like that, whatever you think is best. And also, by the way, the chart called, paste that in, is not working. It doesn't seem to be displaying anything. Okay, let's see how that does. Yeah, I found that Gemini, this experience of just back and forth making edits, Gemini does the best job. And that's why I've kind of settled on it. But I think all of them can end up getting you there. I've just had some uh, slightly clunky experiences with the other two. Okay.
So for the rest of these things that I would like to have set up, would it just be like more advantageous for me to kind of send you an email of like the end result that would be great to have, and then basically like give you, like, if you're in the process of building it or tailoring it, if there's anything specific that you need, then we can jump back on a call or something like that.
Yeah, we can do that. So typically what would happen is if we are building stuff for you, then we would bill at our hourly rate. And I just wanted to jump on and do this with you because we're kind of doing it together on a call. And so I'm like, I'm not charging you for this. I just wanted to show you how this could be done.
Oh, okay.
And I think so. The templates, the reason we have the templates is just because we don't want to, we want to give you as much as we can out of the box that you're not going to have to just pay for. And so
Uh,
any dashboard templates are just included for free. But as soon as we get outside of those templates and we're building custom dashboards or custom tools like this,
I
that's
see.
where we would typically bill. And so I think uh, yeah, ultimately, if there's other projects similar to this that the templates aren't what you're looking for, then I would say, yeah, we could build it for you. We can also like give you support as you build it.
Okay.
Um, and then in scenarios like that, we wouldn't bill for that. We would just, because that's just kind of providing support.
Yeah.
Um, so whatever you think is going to like be best. I know you said you had some experience with the Google Apps scripts. Um, but at the same time, if we're doing it ourselves, we end up being able to get things done pretty fast. I mean, if we had, maybe just 5 more minutes, we'd probably have this even with the emailing ready. It would be emailing automatically.
Yeah, no, I'm totally down to finish this one. I'm just thinking about there's two other ones that are um possibly only one other one that I I don't know if it's in a template already or um I don't know. I don't know what the best uh thing would be, but basically right now my building manager has to send every day to the sales manager a updated list of vacant units. Um,
Okay.
and ideally, I would like to have him not have to do that.
Oh,
Um,
that sounds like a very, very quick fix.
okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, I want it to like include the vacant properties automatically getting sent to the sales manager. Vacant properties, the ones that have move outs scheduled, as well as I think you have a template for the leases expiring.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, so those three things sent to her every day. Like
Okay.
ideally in one email, not three emails, but
Yeah.
yeah.
That sounds yeah, a lot quicker to do, especially if we'd be using templates.
Okay.
Um, and then even if we weren't for like the vacant units, for example, that's really quick
Okay.
to get going. So yeah, with that updated prompt, this chart is fixed, and then it looks like I can expand this and see the any of the notes that are added. So there's the one note, um,
Yeah.
and then it does say your name here as well.
Hmm.
And
Well, that's
so
pretty fancy.
it's pretty cool what it like just a little back and forth with the AI can do. Um, and then if I added the other two properties, 16 and 18, for me to have access to, this would be what you would see if we put your email in here.
For my email, I'd want to see all of our properties.
Right. Well, that's all three of them.
Uh, yeah, we have like a number of different properties.
Wait, are there more properties than this?
Yeah, there's like one, two, three. Oh wait, no, that's not one. One, two, three, four, five,
Oh, I
six.
think you may have only selected these three.
Oh, okay.
Wait, remember when you enabled the integration? And that's easy to change if you wanted to add more,
Okay.
but I'm
Um,
realizing that's why there's only three.
okay, so how do I change
To fix that, you go into Rent Manager and then in the command launch, search for uh I think it's called Manage Integrations.
manage manage into no
Is it My Integrations? Oh, it's My Integrations.
my integrations, yeah. All right.
And then you should see Visata there. And then if you click on settings, you can check uh, either the all properties box or just which properties you want.
Um, okay. Mm, think about this. Actually, you know what? No, we'll leave it as these three. It's okay. Um, uh,
Okay.
yeah, it's just probably the better thing. Actually, I'm going to make 4 of them. Solomon is a new building that's coming up that we have not, that's about to complete. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, but I would also want to see perspective or future tenants. I would want to see. Yeah, that's all right. Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. That's updated.
Okay.
Okay.
And okay, the other thing I'm realizing is it looks like the dashboard is not aggregating by tenant. So for example, right here, that's a bad example. Pedro. So it looks like,
I don't know who Pedro is.
yeah, he's showing twice. So is this one? So it's not aggregating the charges. I think these are individual charges. And so I'm going to ask it to do that. Can we aggregate by tenant? So we see total uncollected amounts for each. Oops. And then sort that amount. Right now it has a row for each charge record. Should be pretty easy for it to do. Okay. There we go. It's sorting and aggregating. And then there's that note. Okay. So if you look up or if you run an AR report on your end, we could kind of just triple check these numbers.
Sure. Are we trying to do it with notes or
Do it without notes.
without notes? Okay. So receivables, age receivables. For what buildings are we wanting to do? Just 3 or 2 or 1?
Do all 3.
2, 3. And credits on properties. Ideally, we report. Do you want me to share my screen? Why are there so many? Oh my gosh. Oh, these are not organized by these are not organized by
Do you have a total outstanding for each property on it? Does it show you that?
no, they're kind of
I don't know if as you scroll, it might have little subtotals for each property. I'm not sure.
doesn't. I'm just trying to see if I can run this for receivables. Page receivables. Do for 1, 2, 3. I run properties separately. Then if I run properties separately, then it'll give me. Do you want to share my screen again?
Well, if you tell me the total number for like Sawyer, for example.
Okay. So I wanted. Hang on. The number for Sawyer is currently 11,017.88.
Okay, perfect. That's what I've got here. And then for the 1270062 property,
11,009 or 399.08.
8 cents. Okay. And then for the 135841, the number I have is 20,360.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, this looks really good. So what I would just do at this point then is we'll copy this over to your account. The only other part that we need is the automated email sending. So I'll just go in here and say, can you add a function that will send an email with a link to this dashboard? And go ahead and make a variable also where I can put in the emails that it should send this to. I want it to be a no reply email, and I want it to be a very nice looking HTML email with a button centered and everything to access the dashboard. Here's the link to the dashboard.
And do you want to put the dates that it needs to send on, or will it do that later?
Oh yeah, good point.
The dates are basically the 2nd, the 3rd, the 10th, 17th, and the 25th.
Okay. Let me put that in. It should send on say it one more time.
Every month on the 2nd, the 3rd, the 10th, 17th, and the 25th.
I'm guessing daily trigger, then the function besides okay, and then let's do 8 a.m.
Let's do 9 a.m.
Okay. Perfect.
That's pretty cool.
I think I guessed the way to want to do it. Yeah, okay, daily trigger. And it checks if the day of the month is in that list. Okay. Cool. Okay. The one thing Canvas doesn't have is a way for me to easily look at the other file. So I kind of have to scroll back up here. There we go.
You just get it to add the code to that file.
Yes. Here it is. There's the email. Awesome. Okay, so we copy this and place this. And then it was telling me, okay, yeah, so at this point, honestly, it makes sense now to just go ahead and copy this over to yours. So what I'll do is
Okay,
here.
that's right. Give me just like okay. So we're gonna copy this over. All right. You there?
Oh, shoot. Sorry, I forgot to unmute.
Okay.
Yes. Um, okay, if you share your screen, we can do it. Okay, and then go ahead and open the link I sent you,
My
which
email.
you can access. No, it's actually right here in the meeting. So if you click on the chat in the bottom right, and then click on the info icon on the top left.
Info icon on. Am I getting warmer? Oh, this one. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. Perfect. And then click the copy button in the top right.
Make a copy.
Yes. Okay. And go ahead and rename it first in the top left. We can take out the copy of. Perfect. And then everything else should be good. We just have to put in um, the emails, the correct emails.
Okay. Each building is gonna get their own um like
Their own email.
dashboard for that building, right?
Oh, not anymore. Now it just uses the same link and filters based on who's viewing it.
Oh, okay.
So, which makes things simpler because then we only have to manage one dashboard. Um, and because we ended up doing this coding route, it was easy to integrate. So
Is there okay? I don't want to like make things overcomplicate things right now, but uh, kind of the reason that I wanted to do it by building was because like the managers might change, but the building's not going to change, you know? So um like this in the future, my goal is to pull Brad, who's in Chilliwack right now, over to Langley and have him um manage our Langley buildings. So it's not really going to be applicable to him anymore. But so like the managers will change, but the building emails won't, you know?
So the nice thing is because we're going to be putting the building emails in here, then you probably wouldn't have to change anything. Are
Yeah.
you saying that if that happens, then he would switch to a different email address?
He has his own personal one, and then each building has their own personal one. So like the tenants only have the building's email, and
Hmm.
then his email he uses for personal like correspondence with colleagues and employees and stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah, the building ones will never change.
Um, so then there's two ways we could go about this. We could require these managers to log into one of those emails in order to view this dashboard.
Yeah,
Um,
which is yeah, that's I mean um they oversee multiple accounts anyways,
okay.
like I'll use Braden as an example. He has 4 Google accounts that he oversees. There's rentals at whitetailhomes.ca, which is for like prospective tenants. He has his personal email.
So what
And
would
then
be the email that like
it
what's like the main email that
could hypothetically send this dashboard just to Sawyer, um, which would have Sawyer and Wellington. Like that's fine because it's the same person that's going to be viewing both of those.
got it? Let's do that then. So where it says manager1 at yourcompany.com, go ahead and put Sawyer or whatever the email address is. Oops. And then, yep, perfect. And then Sawyer, the ID is 1. Victoria Court and Wellington are going to be the other one.
Sawyer and Wellington
Together.
Will be Sawyer and Wellington.
Oh, okay. So then this should say 1, and then instead of 2 and 3, it should say 18. So just 18, and then you can get rid of 3. Perfect. And then below that, we'll do the other manager.
So this would be Brad Court.
And we may want to make it lowercase just in case it matters when it's checking to see if they have access.
Gotcha.
And then the property ID for that one is 16. And then we can take the other ones out. And then you can delete lines 13 and 14. Well, honestly, it doesn't matter. You can actually just leave that.
Do you want to send it to me as well though?
Yes. So we do want to give you access as well. So then do another line. So at the end of this line, just press enter.
At the end of this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right there, press enter and then do a quotation mark and then put your email. And then another colon and then the square bracket.
The space?
Yeah, space either way, but yeah, space. And then 1, comma 16, comma 18.
Oh, sorry.
And then you could do a comma at the very end. Sorry, after the closing. Yep, right there. Okay, that's perfect. And then if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of this page, um, let's see, scroll up a little bit. There it is, dashboard recipients. Let's go ahead and put in the same emails in that list on line 123. Yeah.
Sorry, 120, 124.
Or yeah, I'm sorry, 124. Yeah. We can put Sawyer there and then
And do a comma, or should I just on the next line?
yeah, on the next line, do the other one, and then we'll do one more line to add yours.
Um, um,
Perfect. And then yours. And then add a comma there and then a comma on the line above as well at the end. Perfect. Then what we'll do is, do you see where it says do get in the top?
yeah.
Right next to, yep, right there. Click on set up daily trigger and click run. And it's going to ask you for permissions here. So you can click review. And then I think I'm not able to see what it says. What does it say?
Connect to an external service, send email as you, allow this application to run when you are not present.
Perfect. Those are the three things it needs to do.
All right.
Okay. Now, if you want to test the email, then you can comment out lines 124 and 125.
Comment them out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not explaining well. I'm like thinking uh 2 steps ahead. Go ahead and select both of those lines, just kind of dragging over them, and then click Control/ on your keyboard. Perfect. So then it won't send to those two emails. And then press Control S to save it. And then we just have to deploy it real quick. So go to deploy in the top right and new deployment. And then we'll do web app. And then we want this to be anyone within the domain instead of anyone with a Google account. So do you see where it says anyone with Google account?
Who has anyone with Google
Yeah.
account?
Change that to Whitetail Homes Ltd. So now only people in the company can access this. And even then, if it's anyone outside of the three of you that we added, they won't be able to see anything, but still, it's just better to do this. And then click deploy.
Should I put a description?
No, don't even worry about that.
Okay.
And then where it says web app, go ahead and click the copy button underneath and then click done. And then do you see in this on line 120, there's a URL there?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and replace that URL with what we just copied. Perfect. And then where we had chosen setup daily trigger at the top in the dropdown, change it to check and send dashboard email, and then click on run. And then go into your inbox and let's see if that sent correctly. And you may have to click the refresh. There we go. So this is the email that'll get sent. Wait a second. I thought that you had been added. I'm sorry, just a sec. This is a quick fix. Okay. Come on. Yikes. There we go. And then this is good. We're getting this done because I know I've been taking a lot of your time and I've got to jump here too. So I think we're about there.
Cool.
Um, oh, I think my Wi-Fi might be a little slow today. This is taking forever to load. Okay. Here we go.
This app script thing is pretty cool. I've only toyed with it, like I said, just in the Google Sheets thing. It was only because I had to, but oh yeah. Does it save this script to like my drive or something? Like, does it create a folder in my drive?
It does save the script to your drive. So if you went to drive.google.com, you would see it there, and you can always put it in some folder to keep things organized.
Okay. I just noticed like at some point there were like 20 new Google AI folders, and I never actually opened them up. I was just kind of annoyed that there was a whole bunch of them. I was wondering if that's maybe what they were.
Oh,
But
that may have been created by that script you did.
yeah.
Yeah, that's possible. And so you could probably have, go if you had AI build it, you could ask it to maybe not do that. And it
Like,
should.
is it the well, it's not that big of a deal, but I'm just wondering like if I move it, like if I put them all in the same folder, is that going to affect the script at all?
It potentially could. Yeah, so you may want to have the script get adjusted.
Yeah, I'll just leave it. It's fine.
If you jump back to the dashboard that we had pulled up where it had the error,
Dash.
right there. Whew, that is very. Oh, got it. Okay, yep. I put in the email wrong. I put um yeah, there it is. Okay. Homes.ca. There we go. If you go ahead and reload the page, I think it should instantly fix it. There we go.
Look at that. Wow. A lot of people, huh?
And what you can do now is you can instruct your managers to use that note category because now Gibbons, yeah, if you open that one up, shoot, I asked it to fix that. Dang it. What the heck? Okay, go back to the dashboard. Go to the editing page where we were to edit the code. Yeah, because this was the one we made a copy of. You can close that tab. And then in here, if you go to index.html on the left,
Index.
and then just do Control F and Visata, Visata. Right there in that code where you see the match, change that to whitetail. Perfect. And then Control S. And then go to deploy and then manage deployments. And then click the edit button, pencil icon. Perfect. And then do version 1 and switch it to new version and deploy. And now if you go back to the dashboard that you had open in the other tab, and there it is. Next one over. Here it is. If you reload this, now the links should be corrected. So if you scroll down to that one tenant there with the note.
Where'd you go?
Do we miss? There it is. And then open in RMX. Now it takes you to the correct rent manager.
It's part of the reason that I don't normally use Rent Manager Express is because it's just like unreasonably slow.
I would very much have to agree with that.
Uh,
I use a lot of work on that. So yeah, you could go ahead and delete that note if you wanted to, now that we've tested it out, which I think you have to click the expand button.
I just want to see if we've got history category delinquencies. Okay. So, sorry, how do we delete it?
I think if you click the expand button in the above it, yeah, right there. Then if you click the 3 dots next to it, delete. Perfect. And so if you were to go back to the dashboard and reload it, you would now see no notes for him.
Uh-oh.
Ooh. Ah, shoot. That's because there are no notes. So, shoot.
It requires one note to
Well, it's just that the code wasn't written correctly to account for there being possibly no notes. So
but if there is one note on something, then it
won't have that
for
issue.
all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just because the response from Rep Manager has 0 results now. So we could fix it with AI. Easiest thing is probably just to start getting notes in, and then this dashboard will work correctly. So I've just got to jump here, and I'm sure you've got a lot going on as well. So, but I think this is good, at least as a first draft. I think hopefully this is workable. This is something that.
I added one stupid note.
Okay.
And the whole thing came back. So
okay, cool.
Sweet. So now it will do that.
It should auto send this. Yeah. So you had said first. No.
Do I have to uncomment the other guys?
Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah. Go back into the code file, code.gs file.
Am I there right now?
Yes. And you can click done here, and then code.gs in the top left. Yes. And then it was lines. Yep. Right there. And then you could do Control/ again, and it'll uncomment it. And then just hit Control S, and we're good to go. And that doesn't have to be redeployed because it's just running. Well, actually, we should double check. Go into the triggers, the little clock icon on the far left. Actually, wait, the one right below that. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the trigger that got created. It'll check and send the dashboard email if it's the second or the third. And you see how it says deployment head? What that means is it just runs whatever code is in the editor, not like a saved deployed version. So we don't have to deploy it. It'll just run what you did. So everything's good. It should send the email tomorrow at 9 a.m. to you as well as the other two managers or the two managers. And then the dashboard should also work for them as long as they're accessing it from those emails. If they try to access it from a personal Gmail or something, it won't work.
Okay. So sorry, can you say that one more time?
Yeah, so it'll send the email to those emails. So it's not going to send it to their personal Gmail or anything. It'll send it to their Sawyer at Whitehall, right?
One designated. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they have to access the dashboard from those emails. They need to be logged in to those email accounts. Otherwise, it won't load. So even if they check the one email, but then they're actually logged in the other tab to their personal, it won't work. Like it has to be. So the easiest thing is if they're not logged into multiple Google accounts, because then sometimes like Chrome will just default to a certain Google account. So it's best. Anyway, it should work as long as they're checking that email and then opening it. It should work. If it doesn't, it's just some kind of Google account login issue, and we could troubleshoot it honestly from there.
If it doesn't work tomorrow, I'll let you know. How about that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, that was a lot, but yeah, I think this was good, and I think let's schedule a time to meet again and get some of the templates set up, and maybe some other automations. And if you would rather, you can just put me on it, and I can get that done for the automations, like kind of like what we just built. For the dashboard templates, I would have to log into your account to do it for you. And so obviously that's not super ideal. So we'll probably just have to do that on a call together.
Okay. Let's yeah, we can schedule another one. And then when we get off here, I'm gonna send you an email with just kind of what the other two things, just as a reminder for both of us, because I will probably forget. I have it written down, but
okay.
And then
that would be perfect, because then I can also start thinking about it.
Okay. Cool. I don't know, whatever day works for you.
Yeah, I'll send my link to you after this. How about that?
Right. Sounds good.
Okay. Perfect. Awesome.
Cool.
Thanks for the time, Ryan. We'll be in touch.
Yeah. Thank you. Awesome.
Yep. Have a good rest of your day.
All right, you too.
Thanks. Bye.